Hi, me, Barb from Barbalicious. Hello. Today I'm going to make some pasta. So I have my flour here. I just put it on the counter. It's about 2 cups of flour. And I just make a little well here, like so. And I'm gonna add, I usually do about an egg and a half per, so I'm just gonna put 3 eggs in. So every cup of flour, it's kind of like an egg and a bit. So I have my 3 eggs. And I just break the yolks. And then mix it all in without making a mess. And you're just gonna knead it together to form it into a big ball of dough. And I have more flour here in case I have to add some to it, but I don't think I do. So I'm just gonna knead this up, make it into a dough. Just like so. It's all over my fingers. Get it all off. Now I'm just gonna combine it into a ball of dough. I'm just gonna grab a little bit more flour just to put on my hands, just to get it, because it's a little sticky, but not too much. Okay, that works perfect. So now I'm just gonna combine it all. Now when it gets like this and it's still kind of crumbly, like it's not sticking together, and you feel like it needs a little something, you can add a bit of water to it. I have a little measuring cup here. I just add a bit of water on the counter like that. And then we can, there we go. See, it's just, I only added like a tablespoon of water to it. That's all it needed. And it forms it into a ball. It looks like, it doesn't look smooth. It looks really crumbly, like it looks like a pie crust dough. But if you let it sit for a couple hours and so, then it softens up. It gets more nicer. Like it'll look more like dough than what it does right now. So I've got it all combined. So there's my pasta dough. All I'm gonna do is wrap it in saran wrap and leave it on the counter until I'm ready to use it. And then in a couple hours or so, and then it's gonna be good to go. And then I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna do homemade pasta and spaghetti and with tomato sauce, but I want little meatballs to go with it, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I got some ground beef in there. I'm gonna put some garlic powder, some pepper, dried mustard seeds, dried mustard. And this, because I'm only using like a little bit of meat, so I'm only gonna do about, I don't know, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half. Onion powder and Worcestershire sauce. I mix this up with my hand. And I'm gonna add an egg to it because it's not sticking together, so it needs more glue in there. So put an egg in. mix it up. There we go, that's better. Now it's like cookie. So it'll form a nice meatball. A meatball-y. So I'm just gonna let this sit here for a bit, and I'm gonna make the sauce. And then I'll add the meatball, like this raw meat, into the sauce. And then it'll cook up and get flavor in there. So I will switch it around and get the sauce going, and I'll be back. Hi, I'm back. I'm gonna make a quick little tomato sauce here. So I got some tomato paste. I'm gonna open it up. I got tomato soup. You could use like crushed tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, whole tomatoes, all that kind of stuff. But this is, Ryan wants this, and she doesn't want tomato chunks. So I'm using the paste instead of the tomato stuff that I would normally use for it. So I'm just got my pan here heating up. I'm gonna put the tomato paste in there. I'm gonna get it all cooking up. Turn it up a little bit, because you just put it in here and you cook it up by itself for a bit, and you let all the flavors out, and it just gets a little bit more flavorful and it gets more rich taste to it. So, and then I'm just gonna fill this little can up with water, because I will add that to it once it gets going. So, and I have my tomato soup here. So I got, for what I put in my sauce is I put basil rub, Italian seasoning, oregano, and some fresh garlic. So I'm just gonna get this going and browning it up here. And I'm gonna add some garlic to it once it gets warm. And so I'll just come back to you when it starts getting warm. Okay, so I'm back now. You can hear it, it's sizzling it up. And you can smell it. It's got like a smell to it. It's really good. Can't describe it, but it's a yummy smell. And I got my garlic here. I'm just gonna add it to the tomatoes. I'm gonna add like a big spoonful of it. Mix it around, and that like smells instantly. And then I'm gonna add my tomato soup to it. And this, I'm gonna turn it down now because it's bubbling. So it's yummy, delicious, and smelling right now. And this is where I'm gonna add the water to this now, so I can pick up all the brown bits at the bottom of the frying pan. Because that's flavor. It's Flavor Town. And so you have like, it's like kind of like a watery consistency, like, well, it's like tomato soup. It's just not, it's not thick. Like a spaghetti sauce like you get in a jar or whatever, which is fine because it will thicken up the more you let it sit and cook. It'll thicken up, which it is already, you can see. So I'm gonna get rid of this spatula. It's a bubbling. Move it off the flame here for a second. It's bubbling on my face. Don't like that. Okay. So I'm gonna turn this down. So now we're gonna add flavors into it now. So I'm gonna add my basil, and I add quite a bit. Like, I cover the whole thing with green. You're probably looking at 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 tablespoons of basil rub. Same thing with the Italian seasoning, and then same with the oregano, about the same. That's where I start. And then we'll mix it up. mixy. You can add onions to this too, finely chopped diced onions if you want. But I was told to make it a smooth tomato sauce with no chunks. So that's what I'm doing. So then I go in for the taste. You can always add seasoning to it. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. So now I have it turned down pretty low just to simmer, and I have my meat here that I'm gonna mix up and make little meatballs like so, and just throw them in there like that and let them just boil in there with the sauce, and then the sauce will come and I let it sit. I do this and I let my sauce simmer for about an hour or so, because then it gets lots of flavor. You can add Parmesan cheese to this too near the end. When you're just ready to serve it, you can put a bunch of Parmesan cheese in there. Yeah, that's about it. So it's pretty simple tomato sauce for spaghetti. If you want to use it for lasagna, you can too, I guess. It all depends on what you want to use it for. But if I was going to do it for lasagna, I'd add my meat mixture to it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 meatballs that I put in there, and I'm just going to let it simmer up for about an hour, and I'll start on my pasta, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back with my pasta. This is my pasta machine. I have it clamped to the side of my counter here, and I just roll it in, roll my pasta, and I get fresh pasta. So here's my pasta dough that I made earlier today. And I got a bit of flour here because you're gonna need that. So I just break it in half, or rip it in half, and then rip it in half again to go through the machine. So I just put flour in there, and I put flour on my counter, because once I roll it out, so it won't stick. So I do that. Oh, and about my meatballs, because I've got them simmering over there, if you want, you can brown your meatballs before you put them in the sauce. I don't, because they're going to be sitting there boiling for like an hour, so they'll cook that way. So I put it through, gets it nice and smooth, and then you just move it up a notch. Bring it through again, pull it out, move it up a notch. And you repeat and repeat and repeat. And I don't go through the last notch, because then it's almost like it's a little bit too thin for my liking. So I stop it there. I think it's at a 7. It's my last notchy notch that I do. So here you go. If you wanted to do lasagna, there's your lasagna noodle. I'm doing spaghetti, so I'll just roll that out and leave it there. Then I grab my next piece, move this back down to 0, or number 1, and put it through again. And the reason why I broke this up and made it small is because when I do this, this will be how long the spaghetti will be, is this length here, when I go through the machine. And if I did it as this big piece, then my spaghetti noodles would be like double that amount, and it's a little bit too much, too long. So I just go through here, like so. And that snap that you hear is an air bubble that popped just when I went through the machine. So I just go again, another notch. So I'm just going to continue on doing this, and then I'll get back to you and show you how to do the cutting of the spaghetti. Okay, so now I'm back. So I've got all my sheets rolled out. They're all ready to go. And then I pick if I want spaghetti or if I want fettuccine. And I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with spaghetti, I think. I haven't done spaghetti in a while, so it's very thin thin, so I just put it in at the thing here. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated for me because it's on the wrong side of my hand. I have to use the wrong side. So then here's your spaghetti coming out. There you go. There's spaghetti. See? Yay! We have spaghetti. So I just add like a bunch of flour to it so it doesn't stick together. And you have to get it to dry out a little bit too. So I just sit and I play with it quite a bit to get all the flour into it so it doesn't stick. And then when it's time to cook it, I just put it in boiling water, and it literally only takes like 2, maybe 3 minutes to cook, and that's it. Like, it cooks really fast. Fresh pasta does, so I'm just gonna do this other one. And there you go. Got the fresh spaghetti coming out. Just mix it up, add a bit of flour to it. And I usually kind of judge it where like one sheet is kind of like one person's amount on the plate. Kind of sort of is kind of what I judge it by. So I kind of leave it in their piles here. So we'll do this one up. We got spaghetti. So it's pretty easy to do, and it's super delicious. The fresh pasta tastes so yummy. So I'm just gonna finish this up, and I'll come back when I'm ready to start cooking it. Hey, I'm back here. I'm just getting things prepped and ready. I've got my sauce is still cooking on the stove. It's boobling away with the meatballs in there. I'm just gonna cut up some buns that we had from the other night from supper when I did the burgers. And I'm gonna use that and make garlic toast with them just so I can use them up. I've got some toast in my toaster oven right now because I'm gonna make some croutons for Caesar salad. So all I'm gonna do is put butter on these buns, like so. And then if you want, you can, like I'm putting garlic powder on here, but you can add like cheese on it too, so it'll be like garlic cheese bread, or you can just put just cheese on there and just have cheese toast to go with your spaghetti, however, but we're gonna do garlic bread. I'm not gonna, just gonna plain old garlic bread. So I got some of that, and I'm just gonna sprinkle garlic on there, cover it all up. There we go, yummy, yummy, yummy in the tummy, there we go. And then I'm just gonna put this aside here till my toaster's free. But I've got a zucchini here. I'm just gonna rinse it off. But I'm gonna try tonight for myself, because I'm not gonna have pasta tonight. Is I'm gonna try cooking this up. I've never done it before, so we're gonna try it. I've seen it lots on different people doing it. So I'm just gonna cut strips of it here. And I'm gonna roast it up and see. Put some oil and salt and pepper on it, and I'm gonna put it on a cookie sheet, and I'm gonna cook it up, and then when it comes out, I'm gonna put the tomato sauce on there with a couple meatballs. And see, I'm just gonna do 2 of them though. I don't need to do all of it because I won't eat all of this. I'll eat maybe not even one of those, but I'll do it up because other people might want to try it. So I'll leave it like that. So I'm gonna try that tonight and see what it does. So put it on a cookie tray, put some olive oil on there, just a little bit. Olive oil, like so. And then I'll put some salt and pepper on there. put it in the oven and cook it when it's time here. I'm just getting everything prepped and ready. So that way when it's time to cook, it's like boom, 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 everything's done, everything's ready to go. So, for my Caesar salad, since I don't have romaine lettuce, I'm going to improvise with what I have because that's what I have to do. So I'm going to use a little bit of head lettuce. I'm going to just chop it up like so. Put it in there. And then I've got spinach. I'll just put some spinach in there. So yeah, so it'll be a spinach Caesar salad. And I got bacon bits here, or bacon, left over from yesterday. So I'll just add those onto there. And I got my toast is just about done, so then I'll make croutons out of that and throw it on there, and then just add my Caesar dressing to it when it's time to eat. And then you'll have a non-traditional Caesar salad. But that's what I have on hand. So, if you don't like it, don't do it. And if you like it, then whatever. Oh, there goes my toast. So I'm just going to throw the crouton, or my bacon bits in here. Oh, grab the toast from the toaster. We'll just cut it up like so. And there you go. So you got your salad ready to go. All I gotta do is add the dressing to it when it's done. So I will get my water boiling and cook my pasta and get everything up and going and show you what it looks like when it's done. Bye-bye.